What small thing pisses you off more than usual? People who act like they are more important than everyone else when getting off a flight. People who lose all common courtesy while traveling. Holy fudge. This reminds me of this one time I came home from a business trip. This lady just cuts me off and starts explaining how she should be able to cut me off to get off the damn plane first. It's like, hell, I don't care. Just stop talking. You don't need to explain to me why you need to cut me off. Especially if you're going to take 10 minutes to explain to me why you need to get off the plane first. Like if you had just said, explosive diarrhea, out of my way. That would have been more effective, whether it was true or not, and people would get it dang. When your curtain leaves a tiny gap letting a ray of sunshine penetrate your eyeballs, it's always aimed directly at your pillow too. When I see some just leave their shopping cart in the lot when they are right next to the cart return. Was out with my girlfriend a while back and I watched a stray cart get hit by wind and barrel straight into someone's passenger door. Wouldn't have happened if someone put their cart away properly. I saw an abandoned cart attempt a sick jump all by itself once. I was eating lunch in my car one day in the parking lot when I noticed a cart out in the middle of the empty side of the parking lot chilling by itself. There was a big autumn windstorm starting to roll in that day. Suddenly a gust of wind hit the cart and it came to life. The thing started rolling faster and faster. It was probably going at least pretty fast miles per hour. Oh man, I hope that doesn't hit someone's car. That's when I noticed it was rolling towards the garden center parking lot. There were random pallets of largish outdoor items and stacks of things like cinder blocks and paving stones over there. There was a big sale sign. I'd say about 3 feet by 4 or 5 feet, that was fallen over and leaning at a shallow angle on a pallet. I have to admit I was rooting for this fucking cart now. Crom. I have never prayed to you before. I have no tongue for it. No one, not even you, will remember this cart. How it rolled, or why. All that matters is that today, one cart rolled free, while others were corralled. That's what's important. Valor pleases you, Crom. So grant me one request. Please guide the winds, so that this cart might make a bomb ass jump using that sign as a ramp. And if you do not listen, then to hell with you. The cart seemed to steer, as if guided by divine intervention towards the sign ramp. It went up the ramp, and promptly fell off the other side, and toppled onto its side. My eyes widened, and I spoke under my breath. Crom. The fitted sheet coming off the mattress in the middle of the night. It's like an alarm clock that is going off right next to my ear. Impossible to ignore. I can't fall back to sleep unless I put the sheet back on. Sheet suspenders have changed my life. Horror story. I got these gorgeous new sheets before I had sheet suspenders. Get into bed. Get comfy. Then creak for a solid 10 minutes, then the sheet flips off the corner and onto my head. Repeat 3 times before I absolutely lost my crap and put the sheets in the garbage. Loudest and most obnoxious sheets ever. People not letting people off the subway or out of elevators. Getting off the subway, I just keep walking through them while yelling I have to get out before you get in. That's how this works, and it usually helps. People who stand in front of exits/entrances having a conversation. Right there. Blocking the way. Blocking the aisle in a grocery store is equally infuriating, especially when they are standing in front of something you need. When I was 14, this miserable old couple was standing in the middle of an aisle with their cart right beside them, taking up almost the entire width of the aisle. I needed to get by, so I said, "Excuse me, I just got to sneak by." They just scoffed at me and went back to their bitching about the prices. I went to sneak my cart by them, and I bumped their cart a little bit accidentally. They got mad and the woman went off about how this damn younger generation is so disrespectful. Your mother should be ashamed in how she raised you. I told them to cry me a river and the woman lost her mind. She told her husband someone needs to whip that little bastard's ass. Can you believe the nerve? The husband just snapped enough at her and she gasped like he just slapped her. I may have caused a divorce, ha 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 ha. People asking questions and then not listening for the answer. I have a different job now because my last boss did this so often. Edit. A lot of people with that have been responding and being kind of hard on themselves for knowing they do this. So I just want to say, I don't think that's the same thing. If you're making the effort and are not able to pay attention, that's fundamentally different from just choosing not to. I have an inverse problem with a relative. I'll ask a question and then they give an answer with no relation to what I just said because they weren't listening. People continuing to explain something to me after I've said I know at least thrice. My old roommate was a really heavy drinker and he'd always go into the same collection of stories when he was trashed. You've told me this did nothing. He'd still tell the entire story. After 2 years, there were stories I'd literally heard 8 to 12 times. It was a relief to move. People who always try to one-up your situation. Tell them you've got a cold and they'll respond I've had pneumonia for 10 years. Or some shit. My sister dated a guy like this for a few years. It was so annoying. Anytime I described something happening to me, he'd always come up with something one-up my story. I started calling him One-Up Pete. Ants in the kitchen. Ants anywhere in the house. Grocery store shoppers that leave their cart in the middle of the aisle so no one can pass by as they bend over to read labels. They seem oblivious to others trying to get by and don't take the hint. When a shopper makes a sound to get their attention, that's when you ram their cart. That's when you ram the person. Any sticker that you can't peel off in one piece. Absolutely infuriating. Mine is specific to books. Stop putting Yagros ass stickers on my $30 book. Even worse when you get the fake stickers. Hate them. Not covering your damn mouth when you cough or sneeze. Or when adults cough or sneeze directly into their hands. Then don't wash or sanitize. They should know better. I sneeze into elbow when at work and home. Edit. I'm not joking. I do. I sneeze directly into my asshole. My mucus is no one's problem but my own. While at a restaurant, people just needing to have the volume on their phones turned up to maximum while they either listen to trash music or let their kid play some game, and said game sounds like a damn slot machine. Nobody around you wants to hear it. Also with earbuds in, something catching the cord and having them violently ripped out of your ears. Edit. Wow. Apparently my small complaints aren't so small. It's good to know I'm not the only one. And humbled to get my first ever award. Tie. When I was a waitress I got stiffed on a tip because of this. Table is 12. 2 families. 2 bills. Took up almost my entire section. Mom let her little girl play a slot machine sounding game on her phone at full volume, and it could honestly be heard everywhere in the restaurant. Myself and another server asked the manager what we could do about it, and he said nothing, because no other guest had complained. Eventually that other server went behind both our backs and asked the woman to turn the volume down. She was not happy. Complained to the manager, got some carbs, and both families left me absolutely nothing as a tip. Being that I had to pay the restaurant a certain percentage of my sales, I actually paid to serve them. The other server was afraid the noise would affect how her guests tipped her, so that's why she did it. Also F that policy of letting someone ruin everyone's good time because no one has spoken up yet. It was obviously annoying many other people. People walking 10% slower than you in front of you while you have no opportunity to pass them. Also, people standing on the left side of the escalator. In Japan, they stand on the left and walk on the right. When I returned to the US, I forgot to make the switch and a guy behind me got rightfully pissed off about it. I was the asshole. Now, thank you for watching this video. PLZ, help our attention seeking homie and give this video a like and subscribe if you want more content. Bye.